Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Creator Metaphysical Store, where we help co-create your reality. My name is Edgar, and this is my dear friend Deborah. Say hey, Deborah.
Hello.
And she will be helping me out today. She is an awesome spiritual healer. And tell them a little bit about yourself, Deborah. Don't be shy. We love you.
I practice in Reiki and working towards becoming a spiritual teacher. And
Okay. And how does that make you feel?
how does that make you feel?
Get it, like, psychiatry.
Yeah, right? How does it make you feel?
It makes me feel great.
It makes me feel, yeah.
So we're going to be making deodorant. This is one of the many different recipes that I used. So this recipe requires coconut oil, but sometimes I use olive oil or avocado oil, just another oil based. So this is just one of the many different recipes. The measurements are not all going to be the same, but we're just kind of letting you see a sneak preview into my life and the world that if you want to grab one of those. Yep. So this is one of my earlier creations. Of course, this is the gift, and it's really poor. But I'm still working out the how to fill them up properly. But this one is pine. Now today we'll be working with, if you pass those over, the oils, witch's hazel, sunflower, and there should be another one, a small one right there, and apple cinnamon. So we're gonna start with a mixture of the apples. Which one do you think? I don't know. I've actually never really decided on which two oils or one oil. Which oil do you? We're gonna let the spirit choose. We're gonna let it choose. Use your pendulum.
Use my pendulum.
But in this recipe, it requires
Sunflower.
sunflower. Cool. If I can get it open. I'll just use this bag. My hands were so oily. Okay. So I need 1/3 cup of baking soda.
Pour it in there.
Now pour it in there.
Now pour it in there.
We're gonna make twice as much, so we're just gonna do another 1/3. Shake it a bit.
Enough.
That's 1/3. Oh, this is 1/3. That was 1/2. So 2 halves, and then we're just gonna use. Let's scoop this in, and while I'm scooping this, I want you to pour in at least a cup of oil. It is liquid, so be careful. I'm actually thinking about using corn syrup instead of. And, no, I'll just put whatever is left in there. Because sometimes this is me, but I think if I use corn syrup, wouldn't it just keep the thing frozen instead of using oil? Or would it still cause the same effect?
It wouldn't cause the same effect, but it'd be sweeter.
Corn syrup.
Corn syrup.
Yeah, it's not.
Like, not sweeter, but more sticky.
No, I mean I've used it before, and
Oh.
it actually,
Does it do better?
it's kind of it does make fun. When I tried it, it made my armpits feel sticky.
Yeah.
I'm just saying because I don't know. I'm trying to think because I think I used too much. I'll pour half, like 1/3 of that in here.
Yeah.
1/3 of that in there. And let me grab a spoon. And we're gonna take turns. Now, did you pour 1/2?
Not yet.
Of one. Pour 1/3 of it. 1/3. Is that 1/3?
Hold on.
That's good. So when you'll do Reiki and I'll do energy work because the metal can conduct energy. So just imagine you doing Reiki and stuff. Yes, I am using a pot instead of a mixing bowl because my plastic pot. Oh, I accidentally broke it. Unfortunately. Maybe pour a little more. And just pour periodic. That's good. Pour it periodically, not now. If you feel like it's not meeting the consistency, like this. So unless you see no more powder, you add as needed. The oil itself is what heats up the deodorant. So you don't want to put too much and you don't want to put too little because the oil helps stick everything together. And that being said, maybe a tad bit more. That's good. Okay.
It'll work.
Now you want to stir this until it becomes whipped and there are no more lumps in the batch itself. I don't know if they're listening or if my voice is actually reaching the speakers. Okay, your turn. Or if you want to use the same spoon, that way we don't. There it is. Probably. I'm gonna bring in the glass jars. So you know. Today we will be doing the Angel Collection. The Angel Collection is a composition of different angelic symbols with, in this case, sunflower is connected to the energy of Archangel Uriel. So we'll be using the sunflower to make a but what we're gonna do is we're gonna add a little in here, not too much, because we're only making one jar, and because we're making a 6 angel collection. How much do you think I should sell it for? The entirety of 6 deodorants. Well, technically, if one deodorant is $25, I just got to sell it times that by 6. 25, 100, 150. But then I can include ship. That's useful.
Right.
Right.
We can do that later.
Oh, and just if it become a 1 p.m. Cool.
Is it? Like you hungry?
You just
You hungry?
no, I'm not getting this. Though yes, it's edible. Like you can eat it and it won't, it can clean out your system. But at the same time, it's
Yeah.
in the jars like so. Okay. Drip.
Are we filling it up?
Entirely. Why are your hands shaking?
Because they always say should.
Shakes. See, you don't want to. The reason why you want it as with no lumps in it is because it allows it to smoothly settle in. No, that's good.
Okay.
That's good. You can drop that back in. And what you're gonna do with this spoon, or that spoon, is just simply mix the oil.
Into it?
Yeah. But what I like to do is do a little on top. That way, you know. Now, sunflower is also a good scent to use when connecting with the energy of any sun deity. But the one I found the most to like sunflower scents is Apollo. So if you do work with the deity called Apollo, that is a good deity to work with. If you want to buy this for Apollo, do feel free to let me know because there will be individual scents. This particular collection we're making is specifically for the 6 different archangels that I have decided upon, even though there are many, 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 many different angels that I could have chosen. I decided to go with the 4 basics: Uriel, Michael, Raphael, and Gabriel. Then the grace of God, which is Archangel Hachiel, and Raguel, known as the secrets of God. Okay, so we're gonna use whatever's left in there, but I'm trying to think which is hazel, but I'm trying to think. I'm just been really drawn. I've been thinking about this hazel, which is hazel.
Okay.
Yeah, which is hazel good for? Like medicinally, metaphysically wise? Just a little bit. A little bit more. There. You just want to be enough to coat the bottom.
Okay.
and we're just gonna keep swirl this around. I do hope. Does it smell okay? It does. See, I can't smell. Oh, that smells good. I can barely smell because my nose is stuffed up. I think it's due to the. I burned so much incense. It's not even funny. Now, if you want to stop as far as, or do you feel like you can go on? Um, so we're film. If for those of you who have just joined, we are doing a video to show you one of the different recipes that I use in my um, craftsmanship of deodorant making. Um, this is only but one of the different recipes that I use. I do use other oils and other natural ingredients, but this is the one that's the most basic and easiest to make at the moment. But I do hope that you find this video inspiring to make your own deodorant, as well as inspired you to look into more all natural based products. I need to make. You can spray it and probably get a little bit more. And uh, we'll need to make some more. I think I just ate that. Let me see. That's not smell good. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna use this cup for that. We're gonna use this with a small cup. So can you hold the cup like so? Ooh. And then another one. Okay. And then another one. I'm gonna make 3 times this much now. Other than know that I can. Okay. Yeah. And then that one we're gonna do with this one, which is the cornstarch. I'll need to go to the store and buy some more. Not make any money. Well, you know. What is cornstarch used exactly?
Cornstarch?
Yeah. Let me just.
I believe it's mostly food. Use it to make food.
Yeah, but what do you use it for?
I can't remember. I didn't use it that much.
You can, if you want to, scrape it down. Like this one. We'll just use the rest of this, which is a little less than half, and I'll let you mix. So, Deborah, what do you I know you mentioned you wanted to go on some retreats. You mind telling the people the channel what you plan to do to become a spiritual teacher?
I want to go and do natural medicines
Okay, natural medicines. Okay.
and be trained by different healers around the world and different teachers, different shamans to be able to bring back the teachings to this side of the world and create a program that can fully help others level themselves up in their own way.
Okay. And by what means does, if in the future self, a future sense, what would make you, what would make you drawn to people? Like, what would you do to draw people in?
Mm, What would I do to draw people in?
Yeah, like what would make you unique? I mean, it's I know you're going to see other healers eventually, but I would assume that you're not going to just copy their methods. Like,
No.
what would you do to put your spin on the healing modules that they teach you? What would you do?
Uh, right now, what I what I'm wanting to do is I'm wanting to get all the programs together
Uh huh.
and get a research group.
Uh huh. You need me to
Yeah, get like a research group
okay.
and
Can you pour a little bit more oil in here? Probably like 1/3.
I want to
Probably half. That's good. That's good. That's just
I want to start building my own program and
okay.
learning different healing
So
modalities.
I know that you and I have talked about this before, but we've spoken on the fact that we don't want people to just be healed partially and come back. And so tell them about your passion on fully, express how passionate you are about healing people to the point where they don't need to come back anymore. I know we talked about it, so I figured it might. Oh, you can ask me questions too, like
Healing.
as far as any questions, whether it comes to my spirituality or my past. I want people to know the ins and outs of me, not just from a professional level, but a more deeper level. So if you have any questions you want to ask me, go ahead.
Yeah.
It's to not only provide insight on us, but it's instead of just being silent and just doing this, I want to have them know a little bit about each other. So, do you have any questions for me as far as my past or?
Uh, what what type of healing do, do you deal in working?
Uh, it's not really so much of as healing because it can be very well versatile to not just do healing, but do things of light or dark. But the best way I can describe the energy that I manipulate is I can reconfigure your atoms on the very atomic, deep molecular structure, and I can touch people's physical core that makes up their human vessel. Um, I'm able to touch people's souls and reach in and touch parts of the soul, like their ba, ka, ren, and stuff, in order to do soul healing. And I incorporate the energy of the interdimensional energy, which is the energy of the 12 dimensions in a very multi-dimensional sense. So I tap into all dimensions at once and channel that into that as well. I use geometry and numbers as well as even crystals to plant in a lot of my talisman work um, and my crystal grids as well. So, because um, I believe that geometry creates the vibrational field, and that's from my own understanding. Whereas frequencies are the numbers, and the energy is infinite, infinitesimal. So the universe responds to geometry as well as numbers, and I like to incorporate that in my talismans because of the fact that I have a deep understanding of energy, vibration, frequency. I tend to gravitate using more geometry and numbers in my craft because I understand that the universe responds. Like, for example, Grappavelli codes. Those codes have been seen on TikTok and all that stuff, and they've seen results in their lives. And I believe that if you believe in science, because this person actually based this on the fundamentals of science and using his psychic abilities. He was not only his name was Gregory Grabovary, but of course he ended up being prosecuted. I feel though that he has been not falsely prosecuted. I feel like his judgment was unfair because I believe that the government was trying to frame him for something that didn't happen because of the gift he gave to humanity. Those Grabovary codes, this the government wants to keep a lot of us in the dark on certain things so they can have it for themselves. You know what I mean? And use it against us to keep us dim-witted. Not really. Oh, it's not done yet. And I just believe that I want to share the knowledge that I have, and a lot of it deals with talking about the secrets in systems. And I have to be careful with what I say here on YouTube because of the fact that um, I could get flagged and then be banned if if
Yeah.
but I would encourage you guys to think about this. Who controls the the TV? Who controls the TV network? Who controls the banks? Who controls the money? If you can figure out who controls money and who controls the TV networks, those are the people that are in control because they could program us through television. They could, we depend on their monetary consumption. Well, one way to not be so codependent on it is by incorporating a barter and trade system as a type of currency. For example, say I wanted um, a pound of salt. I would give 6 jars of a match at the other as compensation, so an alchemical equilibrium exchange. Or if I wanted, say, a pound of uh, flour and I only got a pound of sugar, well, I give them a pound of sugar and uh, a quarter pound of salt to compensate for the flour because you need sugar and salt to make, you know. So that's that's how I see a barter and trade system. In fact, the Native Americans here on this continent had something like that, and it had the environment it had was um, very peace. It was very peaceful. I'm gonna spell this word so I don't get mad. And they had this what they call Sovereign. and they had that type of vibe, and they would talk. So whenever they traveled to other tribes, they would talk, they would communicate, they would make bonds both in the heart and the mind through the speaking of the throat. And that's what creates world peace. Communicating, talking from the heart and corresponding with the mind to create something better and more fulfilling. I believe if we incorporated a barter and trade system, we'd be less codependent on the monetary consumption, and it would actually break down a lot of the old belief systems. Like you'll need money to buy food. Technically, food, water, and a place to sleep is an earth given right. It is a God given right, if you want to call it that. So why are we paying for food in the store when we are we need food, we need water, and we need shelter. We need clothes. Those are things that are must just be given to us, you know, instead of having to pay for it. I think if we had a barter trade system, I feel like people would. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I digressed or if I just talking in peace. What was the question again?
You was doing good. I was listening.
I have a lot of belief and faith in humanity, and there are two outcomes to the world, and I hope I can fulfill my mission in activating the pyramids of Giza and the Alexandrian Sphinx. My mission is to actually activate those to restart the oxygenational process. Can you pour some of that in there? And that's good. Thank you. Okay. You think you can pour some more in there?
Yeah.
And then that would be for the witch. Archangel Raguel. I am thinking about getting some more pine for the jar for Archangel Raphael, but I'm thinking of getting either blueberry or something like Ocean Breeze for Archangel Michael because it's blue energy there.
Here's your ice cream, kids.
That's not ice cream.
I'm only joking.
But is there any other questions you want to ask me?
So,
Did I? I hope I didn't digress.
what do you think on the evolution of consciousness?
I think first, in order for us to evolve, we must establish a collective correspondence of communication. That is the only way for us to not only evolve mentally and emotionally, but also physically. We must be connected on a unified basis in a way of communication and not just a mental communication like telepathy, because yes, we are capable of doing that. But until everyone has achieved that state, unlike me and you and other spiritual people, not everyone's going to be able to be telepathic. I mean, yes, we can connect to people in the collective consciousness through meditation, but I think if there's also a more physical means, it could probably just take some out.
Okay.
I mean, actually, because it is a Twitch so. Uh,
So, do you believe that humanity is moving in the in towards evolution of the consciousness, or how do you feel about that?
how I feel is that I feel we are both doomed, but also saved. And I'll explain why I feel both ends of the situation. It's because we're doomed if we don't start establishing a unified communicative correspondence. And we're also doomed if we don't heal Mother or Father Earth. Because by if we're not healing it, we're not putting back the trees and the plants and restoring the balance, if you will, of nature itself. What if tomorrow there was no oxygen? We'd all be dead by the morning, for real. So that's my thing. The smallest chemical could throw everyone in, out of balance.
So what could we do to start actually, what do you feel that would actually start helping us to start progressing?
I feel like if you understood that you're not just individual consciousness, you're also a collective consciousness of Earth itself. For Earth in the beginning was a baby. If you think of it like a baby, and it wanted to express itself through everything and grow. So it created plants, it created trees, it created animals, it created chemicals to form land, water, and all the other chemicals and metals. Then lastly, it started to create humans, which we so advanced to where we're like thinking we are its consciousness to that of a state level. Everything that's here on this earth is a reflection of the earth's consciousness. So for example, all the wars are merely a reflection of earth's consciousness fighting itself. I'm trying to decide on which side of itself is going to win. Think of it like our body, our mind body. We're fighting our ego, when in fact we should be loving, accepting, and transcending the ego.
Yeah.
And that's what it's doing. It's trying to find a way to transcend ego, identity, the belief of limiting beliefs. You know. So that's why I like to say, think of it like we're just its reflection. You know. Um, did that answer your question? Wait, what else was I talking about? I said about what we're doing, right? And then, wait, what was the question?
I was asking what you believe that we could do to start
Oh,
moving,
okay.
moving
Yeah,
and progressing forward.
I also believe that if we started to have physical correspondence and understand that person down the street or the person next door is not your enemy but your friend, he's made of the same flesh, bone, and blood, and all them cells in the same body. You may look different. That's the term alien. He just looks different. That's what alien, the definition means different. So, for example, we call extraterrestrials aliens. Some of us do, but that's an incorrect term. They're not different from us. They wouldn't be here if they didn't care, they didn't have a heart. And that's what a soul is. A soul is something that expresses itself as consciousness through the heart and the mind. The mind is what it's trying to understand as far as I am, and then it expresses itself through feeling what it is to be I am. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And um, in doing so, it learns and it evolves as a consciousness. Think of everything as a mirror, a hologram, a projection of one's own thoughts. If it wondered why people would suddenly their lives turn upside down, it's because something cosmically shifted in their inner world. The inner world is reflect is connected to the heart of what you identify in the mind. That's why it's so important for people to also understand the heart and mind coherence. It's been proven that emotions affect our physical body as well as our mental body. We become more susceptible to diseases and stuff through fear, worries, and whatnot. We become more susceptible. That's why it's not really, there's no really negative energy. There just is energy. Come to a point in understanding that everything is energy.
Same here.
It's not identifiable. It's not categorized. No, everything is energy. That is the basis of all creation: energy,
Yeah.
vibration, and frequency. I believe geometry plays a part in space, the third dimension, whereas time is numbers, but on the fourth dimension. It is also physically possible for us to connect to the people in the past by using the fourth dimensional energy and configuring something on the third dimensional using the antennas. And I also wanted to ask, have you ever wondered why we have so many cell towers? Why do we have so many antennas located
Around.
on there? Ever wondered why they kind of negatively affect us?
They're here to keep us from tapping into the truth of who we are and
Exactly.
program us.
They say it's just for cellular towers,
Mm.
but they also emit a frequency.
It's with ill intention.
Yeah. I mean, they emit a frequency. This is what I've come to. This is something I believe in because of how sensitive I am to energy. I can see something and see also the hidden part because of my eyes, but also my energy. I can see if someone's really human or not, if they're actually extraterrestrial. I've literally came when I had an experience, I was able to see through their illusion barrier. It's like a special thing that's a box. And what it does is creates, think of us as the concave, where they'll do the convex to block the sight from seeing into because you'll need a concave lens. Basically it uses light and refracts it so we don't see them. And that's how they are able to stay invisible and travel during the day and stuff. And that in itself is like technology of like optical camouflage. It's called optical illusion, but it's to help them camouflage. As that's even the government uses it actually, you know. But people don't talk about things. I know things, and it's like I can't explain it. I know it. I just do. I've seen things because I was shown things. Actually, I was also Puerto Rican. But anyway, I firmly believe that these towers, because I feel them all the time, they emit such a harsh frequency that I notice that it's hard. Only when I'm in nature, I feel fully myself. I feel fully one. I believe that these antennas emit a frequency of a negative. See, your television channels also run on a positive and negative frequency. So your channel is channel 39, is that 39 negative or 39 positive. And I've seen certain news channels where I've noticed, like News 13, for example, 13 negative. Um, I would start to feel as if they're afraid energetically. And then I change it to a different channel and I feel just fine. So that goes to show you that they're using the television and the frequencies to energetically affect us. Because energy can touch everything. It is infinitesimal. So there's physical energy, emotional energy, mental energy, soul, spiritual energy, etc., etc. So understanding how energy works, you can affect someone without physically touching them if you understand that. And I'm able to physically touch people. without even touching them. That's why I don't. I could do a lot of dark, and I could do a lot of good, but I just feel like I don't know. I don't know. I'm sorry. Just rambling.
Mm.
It's just I get so lost in the in talking about it that I feel as if though no one listens. I haven't seen anyone like me in a long time. Que no podemos fue I'm actually thinking about getting beeswax and making candles
Oh yes.
with herbs in it.
Ooh. Yes.
Like, but the thing is that I want it to where people understand, hey, don't leave it unattended. I mean, I'm thinking of using ground herbs so that way, it's less of a liability. Like, because I think if they're grounded, like ground sage or ground cinnamon, it won't have the ability like as far as a leaf.
Yeah.
You're more likely to burn leaves than to burn the little ground, and it'll just melt within the wax. So I'm gonna think about getting um, beeswax and using it to, and plus beeswax actually lasts longer. So, but I'm hoping you might be able to help me with that,
Yeah.
and I'll just sell them as like chime candles or something. I might make big ones because knowing me, I might go extravagant. I might.
The extravaganza.
So, are there any questions? Any more questions you want to ask me as far as like what how I came to use virtual or like my past or
Yeah. How can you do your? What can?
what can
What happened to like get you moving more towards your channeling and your spiritual?
so what started me on that path?
Yeah. What really started
Well,
you?
I really started awakening when I was 16, and it was due to being rejected by my family and my friends, as well as the Christian church I used to go to. And I was looking for a different path, and in doing so, I came across like meditation and self guides because I wanted to learn how to not be a robot in the heart. When I was 11, I was separated from my brother and all that stuff, and I couldn't see him. So I became my emotions came shut. The kindness just became a robot. So I was trying to learn how to. At that time, I knew if in order for me to really live the life for love, I need to feel again. I need to feel emotions instead of being a robot. I was more of a heartless. In a way, I was a heartless killer. I wouldn't have had a problem killing someone if someone paid me to do it because I didn't have any emotions.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not that I mean, not that I would now, but I mean like because I didn't have any emotions. I was on the just a pure basis of just logic and like science. I wasn't like I just severed everything. So I didn't care if you were nice to me, you did not compute to me. You know what I mean? Did not make sense why you were being nice to me because you don't know me. You know what I mean? Stuff like
Yeah.
that. Um, so yeah. So do you think we should do witch's hazel and the sunflower for the Gabriel, or what do you think would smell nice? Oh, just this one's apple cinnamon. I'm thinking apple cinnamon and sunflower would smell nicely together.
Yeah. Let's try that.
Do you think it'd be good for Archangel Gabriel? Or I mean, we could just make new, different other jars. Because I got other jars that we could just make a whole bunch out of.
Yeah, try the apple and
Sunflower
the sunflower.
for Gabriel, or which angel are you more drawn to? Because we got Raphael, Michael, and Gabriel.
No Metatron?
We can. I mean, I didn't have time to write this last one, which is
We're good. We'll do Michael.
I mean, this one can be Metatron's jar.
Okay.
I just need you to. I think it's over there. There's like a white marker. You like Spider-Man.
Right.
It should be on one of those tables over there. Or on the floor, probably at the floor somewhere.
I see it.
Here, hold on. That's odd.
We can do Archangel Gabriel.
For
Brenda, just do Archangel Gabriel on later on look for this stuff.
okay, sounds like a plan to me.
What is that?
What is? Oh, that's a stone that I got.
Is that a moldavite?
I don't know.
Is it green?
That's stone.
Yeah.
I don't know. Let me see it.
Nope, it's not moldavite. I've been so badly wanting a moldavite.
Huh?
I've been so badly wanting a moldavite. A big one. A big one.
What about not? Let me see those green stones. What about this one? That's the work. I mean, it's my only moldavite. I think this is
That's
moldavite.
not moldavite.
What is it?
I don't know which one that one is, but it's not. I believe it might be green malachite.
Really?
Yeah, it looks like malachite.
Oh,
I might be wrong.
So do
No, today, folks, we're getting into crystals.
let us get pour the baking soda. We'll put the rest of this in this jar.
We're doing this
Yeah, we'll put the.
again.
Yep. We're gonna do witch's hazel and apple cinnamon in this jar. Yep.
How many cups?
touch too. Probably 3 actually. So we're doing 3 because it seems to be able to fill up 2 jars instead of 1, half jars. And then we're going to pass me that over there. Yep.
On that one, you're
You
gonna
might have to put the spoon if you want to, but dig it out. So, what do you believe as far as humanity? But,
what do I believe as far as humanity?
yeah,
In what way?
and what in its current stages of evolution?
I
Do you think humanity is evolving?
I believe there's a lot of us evolving, a lot of humanity evolving. I believe there's still quite a ways to go, and I believe that it's possible.
I both believe in the merit in humanity, but I just am so, I don't know. I'm a realist, but also an optimist. Would that be the right term I use?
Yeah.
Can you pour a cup of oil in there? So, are there any questions you think you want to ask? Or
I can think of it right now.
we're like covered in, pour a little bit in there, not all of it, but like that's good for now. And pour it back in.
How-
Pour a cup in there. Okay, now pour at least a little bit more in here. That's probably what I did though. What I did wrong with the first few batches is because I wasn't allowing it to be a liquid. I thought it was just um, a firm thing, but I guess I had to wait until
What's your thoughts on boundaries?
boundaries.
Yeah, and how
Um,
setting healthy boundaries.
I believe first and foremost, boundaries must be set for the self and not anyone else. Because in order for you to be coexisting with that person, you must have boundaries for yourself, like for your me time, your sacred space, to boundaries of the self itself. So things that you would and wouldn't do. What would you be willing to do and what would you not be willing to do in order to not lose your humanity, not lose that love, that compassion, that love of self, things like that. So those are healthy boundaries to me. But I also believe you must make boundaries with other people so they don't infringe on your self love and your self accepting. And of those natures, those are the kind of boundaries I would set with people. Be like, hey, I need to speak my piece, but don't be a dick about it because I'm saying something that doesn't vibrate or match on your level. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So what would you do? What advice could you give around being able to set healthy boundaries?
Um, put yourself first. In every boundary setting, you must think of yourself first before the other person. For just like the saying goes, you can't save the world unless you save yourself. No, I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot. Oil.
This is kind of thicker than the other one.
Well, it's thick. And tough
Thick for a reason.
because I don't want to put a lot of oil. That's so trying to like figure out.
A balance.
Yeah. You've had my deodorants before, right? I did give you and Capri, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did y'all like?
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah.
So give them some feedback.
What am I supposed to say? It smells great.
I mean, like, how does it react to your skin? How does it feel? You know.
It feels good on my skin. And it doesn't irritate it like natural deodorants.
Supposedly do.
Yeah.
That's pretty much because I think from my own research, they've had metals and stuff in them. You know, like aluminum and stuff, and that tends to irritate the skin.
We have.
I'm just gonna like postpone on these two. Not really feeling it, but we could at least make.
You're not throwing the angles.
Well, I have a specific way I want to do things. So I want there to be at least two unscented, and then I want to get.
So these are unscented. Yeah, because some people can't take the scented.
Yeah, so I want to at least do these unscented, and then that should be it for today. And I don't want to. But then I think I'm gonna cut off the live right now so we can focus on getting ready to go
Say
out.
bye.
But bye, guys. Say bye to Deborah.
Bye. Bye.
And bye, guys. I hope this was helpful and learning a bit about me and Deborah. And hope you guys have a blessed day.